Victoria's facing a snap 3-day lockdown. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heiser here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. Grab your stein of coffee, we're going to have a look at this article from news.com.au. Snap 3-day lockdown. On the cards for Victoria as cases rise. Now, usually when we start to see these appear in these newspapers, well, some might hazard a guess that it's preparing the public for what's inevitable. So officials are reportedly holding an urgent meeting to consider a snap 3-day lockdown for Victoria following an alarming rise in cases. Victoria could know as early as this afternoon whether they will be sent into their 6th lockdown, with reports officials are considering a snap restriction. Now, this is the thing, everyone. This is now the accepted method of trying to mitigate the spread of this illness. Snap lockdowns. They're not worried about the economic consequences. They're not worried about the consequences to people's livelihoods. They're not worried about people's mental health issues. They need to be. If they are deeming this as the accepted method, they need to take care of the damage that they're causing, the unintentional damage. You don't want the cure to be cause more suffering than the illness. The normal people are getting hurt because of all of this, of the decisions these people are making. How long can they keep going on? And even when we hit 80%, we're not going to have enough ICU beds for the spread that's still going to occur. Where's the new hospitals getting built, everyone? So, anyway, 6 locally transmitted COVID-19 cases were confirmed on Thursday morning, with 3 of those infections under investigation, sending contact tracers scrambling. 2 more cases. Now, here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking of now. When you look at the number of cases and the number of venues, just think about how much work will be required for the contact tracers, because that's going to tell you if you're going to get a lockdown or not and the extent of the lockdown. We now have thousands of people here in Queensland that are in quarantine. We've got several schools now that have been hit. So that's just going to be so much work for these tracers. And that's, I think that'll dictate the extent of the lockdown in some regards. 2 more cases, which have not been included in today's numbers, were also announced during Thursday's press conference. This brings the total number of new cases to 8. The rise in cases sparked an urgent meeting between Victorian government officials and health authorities, with the Herald Sun reporting a snap 3-day lockdown is being considered. Sources told the publication consideration is being given to a lockdown starting at midnight, but there is also the possibility of starting it earlier to avoid the risk of a super spreader event occurring from people gathering before the restrictions kick in. No firm decision has been made, but the Herald Sun reports any announcement will likely occur later today. Authorities are bracing for a fresh COVID-19 outbreak at Al Taqwa College in Turungarnia, outside Melbourne, amid concerns a teacher who lives in Hobsons Bay may have unknowingly been infectious for days. Urgent genomic sequencing is underway for this case, along with one of their household contacts and a case who lives in Maribyrnong. 3 other cases announced today are close contacts of the Moonee Valley case. The 2 new cases that were confirmed after the official reporting period are linked to the Hobson Bay cluster and are relatives of the partner of the teacher. COVID response commander Jerome Weimar said more test results would be throughout the day will inform the next stage of our public health response. Health Minister Martin Foley said he had nothing to say at this time regarding lockdown. When we get public health advice on how to respond, we will be sure to share that as quickly as possible, as we possibly can with the people of Victoria. Our public health teams consider all the material as it comes to hand. As you've heard, particularly Jerome's contribution, a lot of information is being collated at the moment. We need to look upstream for acquisition sources for these 3 cases and the further cases that Jerome pointed to from family acquisition that has emerged today, and we need to look downstream as the exposure sites. So putting all that together, our public health team will make a risk assessment and will bring forward their decisions as to when it's made. So lockdown 6 is trending online. Victoria's 5th lockdown ended on the 27th of July, one which saw the state logged 6 months of lockdown since the start of the pandemic. Lockdown 6 began trending on Twitter shortly after the numbers were posted on the social media website. The fifth lockdown was announced on July 14th and July 15th. 10 cases were reported. However, in the days leading up to the lockdown, there was 1 case recorded on the 14th and 2 on the 13th. The Al-Taqwa College, which recorded 210 cases during Victoria's catastrophic second wave, has again been shut, with more than 300 staff and 2,095 students ordered into immediate isolation. The female teacher underwent a COVID test on Tuesday and received a positive result on Wednesday, but health investigators believe she may have been infectious since July 28th, including 3 days last week at school. A football club in Melbourne's West has also been placed on high alert after a Newport Football Club player tested positive on Wednesday. The player is understood to be a household contact of the Al-Taqwa teacher. The club has not yet been listed as an exposure site while contact tracers work to determine his infectious period. So there we have it, everyone. Victoria facing a 6th lockdown, potentially another 3 days. Now, this is going to be an issue for some people. We're seeing, did you all see the number of people reporting to ED, the young people there, with health issues, with suicidation thoughts? Or was it Lifeline, the biggest number of calls just a few days ago ever in their history? This is going to be tough for the Victorians. More than the rest of us, because they've been through it so many times. There are people that are psychologically going to have trouble with this. I'd suggest you reach out to your fellow Victorians that you know. At least talk to them. Bloody sad. I mean, this is accepted, guys. This is the default response. We're going to see it again and again and again. Look at Israel. It's even happening then with such high vaccination rates. Maybe we need to reach a point where we build sufficient hospital capacity to allow us to open up. What are the plans for that? We've got time. Get started. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Sorry to all the Victorians if this occurs. If you like the content I create, here are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Sign up for Self-Wealth or Stake. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Aussie Broadband. You can buy merch from Heiser Says, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.